cheek. Her perfume enveloped him so forcefully that he sneezed. She drew back, a look of horror marring her features as she inspected her bodice. "William, just look at what you've done!" Her tone was appalled. Specks of his saliva mottled the otherwise flawless silk and lace of her pink gown. "Pray forgive me, Mother," he apologised. "Now I shall have to call Ganley back, and I shall be late to the Featherstone ball. You awful, careless boy!" Her voice was shrill in her anger. He winced. "I'm sorry for my imprudence." "Sorry does not fix my gown. Do you understand?" She grabbed his shoulders with both hands, shaking him. "Have a care! You've ruined everything! You always ruin everything!" "I'm so sorry," he said again, his teeth snapping together under the force of her violence. He thought then of what he'd meant to tell her, what he'd been planning all day. "Please, Mother, I found a puppy, and I mean to keep him, but Father won't allow it. Can you tell Father to let me keep the puppy? I've named him Ferdinand." She released him, making a sound of disgust. "You've ruined my dress, and all you can think of is yourself. Be gone from my sight. I've no more patience for you this evening." "But, Mother—" "Be gone!" she yelled, her eyes dark with fury. "Gone, I say!" Will bowed and left the chamber. He knew better than to remain when his mother was in one of her black moods. Off to the nursery he went, with Miss Greenley. He washed his face and behind his ears, and said his prayers before settling into bed for an uneasy sleep. When he woke the next morning, the puppy lay dead at the foot of his bed. Chapter 1. Victoria awoke to the unmistakable thumps of footsteps approaching her bed. It was devilishly dark in her chamber, and she couldn't see a blessed thing. Her heart kicked into a frantic pace, threatening to gallop from her chest. As horror churned through her, she reached for the nearest weapon at hand, which turned out to be the novel she'd been reading earlier. Fortunately, it had just enough heft to do damage. Blessedly verbose fellow, that Dickens. As the unseen assailant approached her bed, she struck out in his general direction. Thwack! She landed an appreciable blow in what she hoped was the scoundrel's face. How dare someone have the impudence to accost her, the Countess of Pembroke, in her bed? Had the world gone completely to the dogs? "Blast it, woman!" came a masculine growl through the murk. "I think you've broken my bloody nose." Dear God! She knew that growl, knew it better than her own voice. It mattered little that she hadn't heard it in months. The velvety timbre hadn't changed one whit, nor had its unwanted effect upon her. "Pembroke?" she asked, though she needn't have. "Is that you?" "Yours as ever, madame." The voice was now muffled, though redolent with derision. "Although that was not precisely the welcoming I expected." "You weren't expected," she pointed out, making a concerted effort to squelch the sudden rush of jumbled emotion his appearance had stirred. She could not allow him to see how very much he distressed her. "Nonsense, I live here." "Indeed?" She crossed her arms and glared at him, summoning the hurt and anger he dealt her. In the moonlight she could discern only his broad silhouette, and how she wished she could see more. "Is it possible you've been hiding about in the kitchens with Mrs. Ruffton for the last few months?" "When did you acquire such a sharp tongue, my dear?" He sounded surprised by her ire, the rogue. She hoped she had broken his nose. It would be a suitable punishment, a well-deserved imperfection to disrupt the masculine beauty of his face. "One can take up any number of pursuits while abandoned in the country," she sighed. "Can you not at least light one of the lamps? I dislike being at a disadvantage to my enemy." "Harsh words for your husband. Not even a kind remark or a kiss from your lovely..."